Good morning, gladiators. We who are about to play salute you! Hey everybody. Well, today we're checking out a space-themed shooter called Tyrian 2000. Now, if you checked out the last game's Gladiator video, you'll notice that I played R-Type, which was an amazing shoot-'em-up from 1987. And in one of the comments of the R-Type video, a viewer called King Lich suggested I play Tyrian. And it got me thinking, Tyrian, yeah, I remember this game. This was a really cool game from my teenage years. And I loved it back then. And I haven't played it since I was a teenager. And I'm super keen to jump back in. And the best thing about this game is it's free. It's a free download from goodoldgames.com, GOG.com. So you too can play this game after you finish the video, and I highly recommend you do if you're into arcade style shoot 'em ups like I am. Without any further ado, let us jump in to Tyrian 2000. Tyrian 2000, made by Eclipse Games in 1995, all the way back then, and published by Epic Mega Games. And if the name Epic is familiar to you, it's because they went on to build the Unreal Engine, which you've seen in so many games, and most famously made the game Unreal itself. But back in the 90s, they were kind of shareware game publishers, and they published a lot of indie games like Jazz Jackrabbit and One Must Fall, which was a cool fighting game, and of course Tyrian. And this is Tyrian 2000, which is a new game, which was basically a sort of a re-release. Just let me move my chair. Re-release done in 2000 that added a 5th chapter. We're going to play the arcade mode now, because the full game has an experience where you can have branching paths and a story that unfolds through the shops and sort of little text boxes throughout the game. But we don't need that today. We're just going to arcade. 2-player arcade is another cool game mode that allows one player to use the mouse, one player to use the keyboard, and you can move your 2 ships together, and whoever's using the mouse will shoot and the other player will steer. It's really cool. I remember playing that with friends back when I was a kid. But for now, 1-player arcade it is. 5 episodes to choose from. Quite a big game. Each episode has quite a few levels and interesting variation of terrains and locations and so on. Normal difficulty, the way it was intended. If I was playing the full game mode, I would see sort of options to upgrade my ship and so on. You can see here the armor and weapons, but for now we're using a standard ship start level.
Good luck.
And you actually earn your power-ups through shooting ships, but in the full game you also earn currency to spend at shops. Now this top-down shoot 'em up style game is one of the arcade staples of over many years. It started with games like Space Invaders and became hugely popular on arcade through 1942 and Raiden and games like that. And even Ikari Warriors and things like this. But on the PC, there weren't that many good versions of this until this one came along, and this was, I feel like, one of the best. Certainly the best I've played. Xenon 2 from the Bitmap Brothers was also another good one, originally an Amiga game. This game actually, to me, feels like an Amiga game because the soundtrack is very arcadey and has that sort of mod file, like electronica vibe to it, which was very popular in Amiga. And the sprites themselves, colourful and well made. This is something that if you saw on Steam today as an indie game, you would think was made today. It really is. Aside from, a couple of the particle effects being a little more sprite-based and simple, it still looks great. And that's one of the joys of 2D sprite-based games, is they don't age the way 3D games do. Like you look at Nintendo 64 games or PlayStation 1 games now, GoldenEye is pretty much unplayable. Whereas a 2D game like Castlevania: 2D Game like, 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 Castlevania: So we have two little, I guess, drones on either side of us, and they can be upgraded. They allow for extra firepower. They're shooting these green lasers to the side now, and we have 4 lasers going forward. I'm trying to collect those purple orbs from shooting things. If you can get kind of like 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row, you often get a power-up from shooting the whole wave. But otherwise, you get those little purple orbs you got to look out for. These games have often been described as bullet hell games. And what I mean by that is there's so many bullets on the screen that you kind of think, I can't dodge this. I'm in literally bullet hell. I'm going to die. But one of the cool things about Tyrian is that you have a armor bar, or a health bar basically, and you can survive pesky, one-off bullets like that. That's not going to kill me because I have a shield, but it will hurt some of my health. And that just means it's a bit more forgiving and allows you to progress further in the game. There's of course much higher difficulty modes that are more unforgiving if you want that kind of a challenge, but for the casual player like me, having the option to play like this is certainly something that I'm interested in. If you saw the last game's Gladiator video where I was playing R-Type, that was an example of one hit and you're dead, and I only got to the 2nd level, and that was really, really tough. You get these little sort of
Warning, spike ahead.
This voiceover from I guess your assistant back on base, and she tells you there's boss fights or things where areas where it speeds the level up and that kind of thing, which is really cool because it goes a bit above and beyond the regular shoot 'em up game. These spikes at the moment are a little too powerful for me, but if I had a powerful laser I could blow them up. But we're about to fight our first boss after we take down this little wave of ships. If I'd got that, I would have been able to get a power up, but I didn't. So we're going to have to go into battle just with this fairly limited weaponry, unfortunately. And our first boss is almost like a crab, really. He has 2 crab claws. You want to take down the left and the right claws before you take down the main body, because they shoot extra weapons. This is one of the easier bosses in the game, but still shouldn't be underestimated. There's a little health bar up the top there, and I can shoot him with the side lasers while he's down there. You get some ultra powerful weapons in this game, lock-on lasers and huge beams that go everywhere, and you even have sort of a secondary bomb, which I've actually forgotten the button for, that allows you to nuke them. But
Level completed.
we completed the level without needing anything like that. So we got 69% of the destruction. 69, dude! If you're a Bill and Ted fan, I apologize. And we're on to the next level now. If I'd been playing the full story mode, we'd be buying things in the shop now. And you have a few different ships you can choose from as well, which is pretty cool.
Good luck.
Alright, off we go. I can't remember what those things do. I think they might be bombs, but... In 2007, this game was actually released as freeware. And you can buy it, or you can get it for free on Good Old Games, which is where I got it, and play it for free. Or you can even visit their Bitbucket code repository and download the source code, which is rewritten in C, which is pretty impressive. And a lot of people have made their own modifications to the game, I believe, but I haven't seen that there have been ports made to mobile and other operating systems, which is pretty impressive. And I believe you can even get the sprites for the game if you wanted to make a game yourself using the Tyrian sort of artwork, but of course you couldn't sell it because it's open source. I don't think they'd allow you to commercially use it, but you never know. There's a license for all that sort of stuff, but it's a pretty cool thing the creators did. The game had obviously long stopped selling, but they wanted to live on, and I think that's really wonderful. One day maybe I'll open source this old Sword and Sandals games. They're such a mess, the code. Well, we're in a bit of trouble here because my health is very low. I've taken too many hits. I might be experiencing a first death. But we survived that wave. Cool, little bomb blast there. I'm not sure when that occurs, but... My little portrait is actually my video portrait is showing where the shield should be, so I can see it, but you can't. But it's pretty low. It does recover if you don't get hit, which is good. But that's quite an annoying little alarm sound. Don't you hate it in games when you have alarms when you have low health? I remember in Zelda, whenever you had low health, it would beep, 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 constantly. And it's like, okay, I get it. I'm on one heart. Stop annoying me. You're just making it more tense. You know, I think a heartbeat sound that gets a bit faster or something is kind of cool, but that constant beeping was certainly a design aspect that I was not fond of. Let's take down these land cannons. Oh, I got complacent. We died. First death. Disappointing. Oh no. Oh yeah, we're back. But we've lost a lot of our power-ups and we're right back down to where we started, which will make the game more difficult going forward. There we go. Slowly build up, build up, build up. You really want to get those purple orbs. They make a big difference. Oh no! Getting a little bit trickier, and that's good, but every time I die and I go back to the simple. I'd love to show you the two-player mode where you have two ships, and I actually remember now. I just had a vague recollection of playing this one player, but using the mouse and the keyboard at the same time, and having the second ship attached, so it would be twice as powerful. Okay, there we go. That's our second weapon, that atom bomb. I should have been using that. We really need some health. Yeah, this is the bullet hell aspect of the game. There's a lot going on. Mega cannon. Oh yeah, that's what we wanted. Secret level coming up. Believe it or not, weapons get a lot more powerful than that mega cannon. Tank we want to circle around and try and... We're out of atom bombs, but great. We've got 5 purple orbs, which will make our mega cannon more powerful. I'd love to turn off that annoying armor sound.
Level completed.
Secret level.
Good luck.
And here's a bonus level. Oh, I remember this. It's kind of basically minefield. It's really tricky. Tricky to get through. But I think the rewards are some nice power-ups. If you can shoot down these... Can you shoot them down? I guess not. Whoa! Alright, so you want to get those gates and avoid the... It's almost like a pinball level, isn't it? With mines. Getting kind of slammed here. There's probably a certain generation of gamer that loves these games, and it may not be the younger gamer. I don't know how many of you younger gamers have really experienced this kind of shoot 'em up style game. If not, is it something that would interest you? What do you think? Is it too hectic? Is it dull? Is it? Would you prefer it in 3D? What kind of games? You know, other than Fortnite, that kind of thing. What kind of arcade style games do you play, the younger generation gamers? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. For your old timer gamers, what kind of shoot 'em ups do you remember? Do you like, other than this in 1942 and 1943 and Raiden? Which other ones of these do you play? Anything you'd recommend? Because I'm in a bit of a shoot 'em up sort of phase at the moment. Don't know why. I've never really. I'm not making one or anything, but oh, cool. I like those missiles. As I said, huge variety of weapons. So this game came about when two young programmers, or one guy actually made a prototype, showed it to his mate and said, "What do you think?" And the guy says, "Hey, you got something here." And they showed it around to a couple of publishers, and a small indie publisher called Safari Software took them on and said, hey, we'll publish this game. It's kind of our sort of thing. And they gave them the money to develop it. But as it went on, they actually attracted the attention of Epic and Tim Sweeney, who was the boss of Epic, and said, yeah, this is right down our alley. We'll give you more money. Let's publish it under the Epic Mega Games license. And that's ended up where it was and it sold quite well, beyond their expectations, I think. So we survived the bonus level. Looking forward to fighting the next boss now that I got the... Oh no, disaster has struck. As I was recording level 2, I alt-tabbed out of the game accidentally, and then I couldn't get back into it. The game froze up halfway through level 2, which is really annoying because I thought we were on a bit of a roll there, and I don't really want to go back to beginning again, but I feel like we've played enough of that game anyway. It was a good experience, a good little reminder of what a classic shoot-'em-up game can be. As I said, this is a free game, which you can find on goodoldgames.com, and it's absolutely worth your time playing if you like that sort of game. Really cool music and artwork, and 2 players if you have a friend over. You can use keyboard and mouse, or joystick and mouse, or whatever it is. And the full game is pretty cool as well, with all the different ship upgrades and so on. It will keep you busy for quite some time, and I certainly had fun playing it. I'm just a little bit annoyed that I was really on a bit of a roll there, and then it crashed, as is so often the case when playing games. Certainly older games, you often get crashes like that. But that is it for now, my friends. Until the next time on the Games Gladiator, thanks for joining me, and I'll speak to you real soon. Bye for now.